All right, hello everyone, and welcome now to game number 3 in what has been an amazing series so far between WFZ and Th000. Th000 has spawned as the blue human player on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, WFZ has spawned as the red undead on the bottom left. We are all tied up at one game apiece in what I now know to be a best of 3 series. If you guys have not watched game number 1 or game number 2, they were both very, very great games, and I am now speeding up to in game number 3. Not quite sure how long it is, but I do know my stomach is starting to hurt, so, well, that is why I hope to not keel over in pain as I cast game number 3 to you. Now, what can we expect in this particular matchup? We do know that WFZ was the one who chose the map, and with that, it is a little bit more difficult to set up your expansion. There are 2 expansion locations for either side. One is a more natural expansion to the north or at the north and south points of the map, either to the east or west of you, depending on where you are. And that creep camp is rather easy to take out. Militia can in fact clear out that creep camp with no real issue. The issue though is going to be the fact that it is slightly closer to your opponent as opposed to on Twisted Meadows. That means that the expansion location could get a little bit more, how should I call it, a little bit more pressured, as we are looking at the scout farm. And this was a recently discovered ability, is that this farm down here actually can access the Goblin Laboratory right there. You cannot walk by it and get it, but somehow the slight slope and the location of the farm actually triggers the high ground. Now, we are going to be looking at a Death Coil, perhaps onto some of the other units here. There goes level 2 now. Devotion Aura onto all of these units. Death Knight has not been able to get any easy kills so far, as we see these Forest Troll Trappers. Are they going to get... I don't... Oh, nope. They did get that kill there. Death Knight, does not get the final blow, nor does he get the Tome of Intelligence. Alright, Forest Troll Berserker was not picked up, only the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. We can see Nightfall has just happened, as we could be looking at more peasants being called over here in just a moment. I believe another farm needs to be completed, as the peasants aren't going to even bother going into militia form. They're just going to take a hop, skip, and a jump over to the next creep camp, as the Death Knight may get to level 2 right here. Alright. Claws of Attack +6 once more. That is going to be absolutely huge. Who's going to... Oh, there is the kill. The Death Knight did not... did it waste its mana? Yeah, it actually did lose its mana on that Death Coil, but didn't get anything for his efforts. But he did get to level 2. Unless he Death Coiled a different target in order to get to level 2 that I was not aware of. Death Knight, sneaky Death Knight, hiding off in a different location, waiting for the Archmage to perhaps show up in an absolutely different location as well, and then going to venture forth, putting down pressure on these peasants. Alright, there you go. Skeletal minion. One peasant is going to get taken down. A militia is called over to arms. Is it going to get taken out? No, the tower is going to get destroyed here. And the opportunity and the timing on this was absolutely perfect, as another peasant going to get taken out. Troll Shadow Priest brought over. You can see the quick heal right there, but the Skeletal Minion and the Death Knight will finish off its target, as the Death Knight now wanders along its merry way.
A player's forces are under attack.
A player's forces is under attack. Down to the south, as the Crypt Fiend is ready to go. Back down across here, Archmage, Water Elementals, Footmen, Forest Troll Berserkers going to be coming across into the central location. Footmen with the Fen looking to put down pressure. Exactly the timing that we were expecting, as we are at not Necropolis, but not Halls of the Dead, not Black Citadel. And we should be looking at a Lich now being trained. The cold towers are going to cause some problems, but the ghouls coming off the lumber line in order to inflict a bit more damage, as the ghouls themselves are now in a little bit of trouble as well. Are the towers going after the right targets? That is the big question now. Forest Troll Shadow Priest could get taken down. Death Knight going after him, and it looks like it will get taken down there. Death Knight now sitting at level 2 still, as the ghouls are trying to run every which way, And, well, the Water Elementals are still getting that splash damage in on all of those ghouls. Footman trying to engage here. Lich is now back out onto the field, and a quick Frost Nova onto those Footmen would really, really slow them down and cause even more serious issues. Archmage is sitting at level 4. Is it going to get away? Death Knight trying to chase Water Elemental with pathing. Beautifully done. Lich is unable to get the Frost Nova off as the Death Knight unable to get to level 3 and a more powerful Death Coil. Meanwhile, Footmen still causing problems amongst all of these acolytes here. Are they going to be able to catch up? That is the big question. It looks as though it will get taken out, and acolytes plenty here ready to go. Arcane Tower is getting upgraded. Town Hall back to the north is now ready and ready to go. Plus 15 attack on this Archmage. The Archmage, or Archmage, depending on who you listen to. Is it an archetype or an archetype or an arc, or I don't know. Anyways, Forest Troll Berserker now going to get taken down as we see the Water Elemental now being pulled away, as we see Militia now joining in on the fight. Lich does not have enough mana for a Frost Nova yet. A Frost Nova across all of these units would be devastating at this point, as the Death Knight desperately trying to get to level 3. Gets to level 3. Lich is still sitting at level 2. Militia now getting pulled back once again, as we are looking at a 36 supply army compared to 31. Definite tech advantage for WFZ. Definite economic advantage for Th000. And we know that Th000 can play the long game in order to get a large number of siege engines and then simply base race against an undead player. Playing passively aggressive seems to be Th000's game plan so far, as he already has a level 4 Archmage. Level 5, meaning that Destroyer's Devour magic won't do as much damage compared to its overall health, and will be taking more damage as well. What item is that? That is a Wand of Illusion. 3 charges ready to go. Archmage sitting at 510 mana as well. That seems astronomical, or disproportionately high at this stage. Only with a Mantle of Intelligence plus 3. Perhaps he got a number of Tomes of Intelligence, further increasing his overall damage. Currently sitting at 33 to 39, but with plus 15, you see the Null Poacher just splitting damage all across the place. Frost Nova going down on a Footman, as the front line Footman looking to finish off some of these units here. All right, who is going to flinch first and pull back? That is the big question. Low hit point Water Elemental, any focus damage on it will be for naught, as the Water Elemental will melt into oblivion. Footman now looking to back off there. Lich unable to finish off the unit again, as you see the mercenaries being hired and using them very, very effectively to try and make up for that overall technology difference. The Ogre Mauler acting somewhat like a knight, the Forest Troll Shadow Priest acting as a priest, and the Forest Troll Berserker acting as a rifleman. The 3 of those pushing together, and the Archmage's plus 15 damage has really done a lot more damage overall than you would normally expect. That Archmage with that much additional damage and that range really causing problems, as the Death Knight comes in with another Death Coil. Are we going to be able to push back the other way? The Archmage just simply has way too much mana, some way or form, as the Lich gets taken out. Footman, is it going to at least cost a Footman to get that Lich? That's the big question there. Yes, 1 Footman was lost. Death Knight still sitting at level 3. Obsidian statues are here ready to go. But the Water Elementals and their high damage is just causing too big of an issue. All right, Footman now going after a Crypt Fiend here. Are we going to be backing off again? Triple Obsidian statues. Is this Crypt Fiend going to be able to make it all the way back home? Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil. Is it going to save? Yeah, it doesn't need it at all, as we see the Death Coil go down on the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Water Elementals trying to go back up onto the high ground. A Death Knight now looking to back up, get healed back by the remaining units again, as the Water Elemental down to 300 some odd hit points, and will get taken out at the hands of the Death Knight. Level 1 Lich is already back in play. 43 over 50 supply compared to 44 over 48. Lots of guard towers now being added, as the water elemental here may get taken out as well. Another water elemental destroyed. Lich now sitting at level 2. And more importantly, a little bit more mana for more Frost Novas. Dark Ritual could also come into play as well, as we are looking to see where these units will be traveling to next. Alright, Crypt Fiends ready to put pressure. Lich needs to back off. Does have an Orb of Corruption, as we see that damage is starting to add back up. Lich, is it going to get a Frost Nova off? Going after some of these other towers while they are under construction instead. And it looks like they are going to get taken down. There goes one. Another one could get taken down here. Death Knight may need a Death Coil. That one particular Crypt Fiend, it is a little bit too far back right now, as now damage only being absorbed by the Town Hall. All right. Footman making its way over. Just focus on the Footman. Get a little bit more experience. No, I guess you can waste the mana on with the Frost Nova instead. As you see, the damage is starting to get added back up. Meanwhile, once again, we see the same strategy. It looked as though the Archmage was able to drop back in with a Zeppelin the other way. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Skeletal minions, Nerubian towers, and Spirit towers trying to fight back every which way. Mud Golems dropping in as well, as the Devour magic needs to be a spot on at this point. Mud Golem gonna come on, is the Mud Golem gonna be able to get taken out? No, not quite yet. Destroyer still has enough mana, and continuing the fight. We could see some more Devour magic here in just a second. Archmage does have a Squirrel Town portal, and will it need it in order to get back out? Destroyer down to 500 or 900 hit points. Devours magic, now going after the Footman again. There goes another. Meanwhile, back off to the north, the Crypt Fiends are still putting pressure on this base, but really not getting that much damage through. Archmage, Book of Retraining, picks up the Mantle of Intelligence, picks up a Staff of Teleportation, now teleporting back off to the north. We are going to see Blizzard, Stormbolt onto the Lich, while it is Blizzard. Extra bonus damage right there, as the Lich down to 300 some odd hit points. More Blizzard raining down, affecting this game continually, as we're looking at 47 over 50 supply compared to 34 over 54. Large amount of gold in the bank, a lot of towers to be had, and a Dark Ranger rounding out the group here, as we should be looking at. Yes, there goes a Silence. Silence taking out the Archmage, as he is no longer going to be able to buy anything else from that Arcane Vault. Blizzard coming down once again. Death Coil saving that Lich for a split moment, as the units need to run away. Where are all the units going to be traveling to next? Perhaps down across here. The Destroyers could go after all of these peasants while they're constructing, and the Crypt Fiends, there you go, there's a Death Coil. The workshops could be destroyed before they're ever even operational. This is going to be a potential problem once more. Crypt Fiends are not going to be able to easily deal damage to those guard towers, but we are at castle. Back down to the south, Archmage is just taking its time blizzarding some of this, as he's going to get picked up. Nope, not going to get picked up at all. Death Knight now wandering back down to the south, perhaps Staff of Teleportation. There's a scout farm in position there, as the Dark Ranger and the Lich now think it is a good idea to try and go after this main expansion. There goes a Frost Nova. Crypt Fiends and the Lich with the Dark Ranger going to finish it off, as the Zeppelin is now back in play. All right, still putting pressure just outside. No workshop. Death Knight coming across. Skeletal minions coming in. There's a Stormbolt, as meat wagons are being added to join in on the fight. All right, Dark Ranger continuing this push here. Damage still racking up slowly but surely. Undead now having to deal with a human tri-hero, as the Archmage comes across with a Blizzard. Destroyers will not be able to devour magic nearly as much, but needs a way to deal with any sort of anti-air. The Destroyers, incredibly important. There's a Death Coil saving the unit right there, as the Knights now joining in on the fight. All right, Knights joining in on the fight. They do not have animal war training as of yet. We see a single Spellbreaker as well, including the flak cannons now for the flying machines. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Meat Wagon's going to be joining in on the fight here in just a moment, and the Meat Wagons could spell problems in just a second. Disease Cloud already ready to go. Lich still sitting at 2. Dark Ranger still sitting at 1, but going after the Ogre Lord now. Armor now sitting at 1 from 6, and it will fall rather quickly. Devour Magic could be coming across here in just a second. That is Inner Fire and Bloodlust taking down unit after unit as the Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger. Well, Lich will get to level 3. Dark Ranger is at 2, and the Death Knight will stay just outside 4 as we now see double meat wagons joining in from the bottom. All right, in comes the attack. That damage is going to start eating away. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Archmage using Blizzard to cause problems on these buildings. But the damage is going to start to eat away rather quickly. There's a Frost Nova onto more of those units again and taking down more and more of these peasants trying to repair. All right, gold being harvested a second, 7 compared to 7 right now as the Archmage is looking to push forward and perhaps try to take down more buildings. All right, Scroll of Town Portal. It looks as though, yes, that will get taken down. Is the Archmage going to be able to get away? Frost Nova. No, not a Frost Nova. It was just a cold tower right there as the Siege Engine makes its way in, only to get destroyed. Death Knight, now sitting at level 4, has a Scroll of Town Portal, has the meat wagons to try and counteract those Siege Engines as the flying machines are now joining in and taking to the skies. Knights, Spellbreakers, Mountain King, Paladin, Siege Engines, Flying Machines. This is no one-trick pony strategy coming in from Th000. He has a lot of different units trying to fight together as we see the Paladin quickly, oh wow, stays alive with the potion as we now see the Stormbolt and now Spellbreakers eating away at the Death Knight's own mana. Mana going to be an issue. He needs that mana to stay alive. Flying Machines not getting taken down. Lich with a couple of Frost Novas. Dark Ranger keeping the staying alive once again. Is she gonna be able to make it back out? Death Knight now needs to teleport out, but that Blizzard is eating away at so many units, and another Crypt Fiend bites the dust. All right. Staff of Teleportation, teleporting back. Nope. Blizzard on the meat wagons. Meat wagons backing away. No real expansion up here as we are on one base to one base. No economic advantage, but did he mine enough gold? 53 over 54 compared to 57 over 70. Still doing a lot of creeping here, and that is going to be extremely helpful. Death Knight will get to level 5. Lich will stay at 3. Dark Ranger may get to 3 as we see the meat wagons now joining in here. Death Coil saving right there. Death Knight, wow, come on, get to 5. There you go. 1,400 experience on the nose to get to level 5 with a 600 hit point Death Coil heal. All right, now just clearing up some additional items, getting an Ankh of Reincarnation on that Lich. Dark Ranger is at 3. Silence. Do we see black arrows? No, we do not. Boulder taking down that one particular Lich. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Archmage. Both sides just trying to get in position, and you can see that those Paladins are just so low on life. They do have animal war training, but they have to be extremely careful as a bash from an Ogre Magi, 2 low hit point Paladins, and no Staff of Sanctuary. That is the big surprise right now. No Staff of Sanctuary to heal those high hit point Knights. Just take them out of the battle and let them come back stronger, faster, better. Paladin, Mountain King, Archmage. Yep, no Staff of Sanctuary at all. Perhaps if Th000 starts getting the Staff of Sanctuary, he can make up some of that economic advantage that he has lost, turning time into an ally with that passive heal.
Forces are under attack.
Tome of Intelligence being left behind there. Skeletal minions now making their way across. Sorceresses are being added and spotted. Flying machines. Oh, getting caught in the web of the Crypt Fiends. There goes 1. There goes 2. A third will get taken down as well. And it looks like WFZ catching a bit of a lucky break right there. Archmage purposely backing off. Paladin still, now sitting at 3. There is still 5 flying machines ready to go and trapping the opponent's units in a corner. Here you are. There's a silence across all 3 units. Paladin is in trouble. Will it get taken down? Will it get taken down in time? The Staff of Scroll of Town Portal was used, and a Knight, both Knights taken out, and flying machines overhead. All right. What is going to be happening here? Take out the arcane vault. Take out the towers here. Get a little bit more experience. Death Knight is at 5. Lich is at 4. Dark Ranger is at 3. Meat Wagons walking way too close to the guard towers. Now backing off and engaging. Still a little too close. There you go. As the Meat Wagon now looking to finish off some of these buildings here.
A player's forces are under attack. The town is under siege.
Spellbreakers looking to finish off this creep camp. Paladin does have a health stone, so will be able to survive a bit of focus fire, even if he is silenced, unable to use Divine Shield, but that health stone will keep him up. Tome of Intelligence being picked up by the Mountain King, up to 300, plus 19 attack now on the Mountain King with the Gloves of Haste, but almost losing that Mountain King in an instant. All right, here comes the fight. Mountain King still in that front position. Flying Machines now being brought into the rear. Flying Machines engaging. A big blizzard going down. Flying Machines may be lost here. Silence going down as well as the units are still engaging back and forth. Crypt Fiends continuing to engage. Bash onto the Abomination. Mountain King trying to get away as the Obsidian statues are in the backfield. Abomination, is it going to get taken out? Needs to run away slightly. Mountain King, Holy Light, gets saved for a little bit as the Death Knight continuing to fight. All right, Divine Shield now being used by the Paladin. Paladin could Holy Light the Abomination to take it down. Death Knight instead use a Scroll of Town Portal. Can it take down any units before the teleportation? And another peasant does get taken out. Meanwhile, Meat Wagon off to the north, finishing off another guard tower here. Those guard towers are fully upgraded at tier 3 masonry levels. As we see the Paladin, Archmage, and Mountain King still working together to try and clear creep camps. Archmage should be backing off. Can't get any experience, but the disease cloud is a definite issue right now as the priests are going to be drained of a lot of their mana. Dark Ranger picking up Devotion Aura. Lich still sitting at level 4, not yet quite at 5, as we see a haunted gold mine here at the 10 o'clock position. WFZ now up on mining bases over the human player, and I do not believe Th000 realizes that there is still an economy for WFZ. A little bit of a chase coming in from the bottom right here. All these trees, yep, are in fact dead, as the Goblin Shredder cannot get slowed by, oh, excuse me, my stomach really hurts right now, by those Frost Novas, but can take damage if it is standing too close to another biological unit. Abomination upping that front position. Is it going to cause more problems? Slow now being cast. Destroyers not taking to the skies. Needs to be able to eat some of that slow. The Crypt Fiend still fighting away. There goes one Crypt Fiend again. Obsidian statues taking a lot of damage still as the Lich once again tries to engage once more. Divine Shield. 2 Abominations up in that front line. Death Coil on a Crypt Fiend finds a gyrocopter or a flying machine again. You can see the Knights trying to engage once more. And the Obsidian statues are still in position. So far, Death Knight is doing a strong chase. Paladin, Ring of Regeneration. Perfect item for a Paladin with Divine Shield. Can always use to have a little bit more hit points, and being able to activate that invulnerability gets a lot more healing coming out of it. Peasant getting taken down. Long distance mining not going to work as Peasant number 1 and Peasant number 2 taken out as well. Dark Ranger, what is happening here? Why attack the farm? As the Destroyers now, well, eating a bit or devouring a bit of magic. Yep. And where are they going to be going to next? Flying Machines still off to the central portion of the map here. Lots of gold to be had. Long distance mining, the Walk of Shame. Only way to get gold right now. Leaving this gold mine and having to walk all the way back home. Not a good position to be in for Th000, as WFZ seems to have very, very strong control of the game. He doesn't need to force anything. He knows that he has the game pretty much on lockdown, as we now see, well, in comes the fight here. All right, Flying Machine getting webbed down, meanwhile, Destroyer getting destroyed there. Paladin sitting at level 4, level 2 Divine Shield, Holy Light, Paladin, Death Coil, continuing to fight this again. More and more as the Archmage is now in a little bit of trouble. Can it get a Holy Light? Yes, it does, in between the Death Coils and the Frost Nova, as the Paladin is still getting healed again and again. Alright, this fight is still raging on. The Flying Machines cannot attack ground. Crypt Fiend's extremely low on life, but the Archmage gets taken down. No more Blizzard, and as it can happen, the person with the lower score comes out on top. WFZ takes the series 2-1, even though he got outmined by 9,000 gold. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.